Hi dear students, welcome to this session particularly discussed for lead acid battery or lead accumulator, can also call it as lead storage battery. It's the most important 3 marks question from our electrochemistry for board exam, and also this equation part of this lead storage battery, also lead accumulator, is said to be most important for competitive examination also. Sometimes they will ask the equation part of this lead acid battery. So let us start about the discussion of lead acid battery in this small session. Okay, let us see dear students, in this what will happens, there will be one of the most important representation given here, which is also called as most commonly used battery in many of the applications like automobiles, inverters and all we will use. It's also known as secondary cell. You have heard about what is that secondary cell. Means that cell can be operated in either direction of the reaction. That means recharging and discharging both are possible for this kind of cell. So it consists of what are the important parts? Let us see. In this we have a lead metal rod is there here. This lead metal rod is going to act as anode. At the same time, you are observing some other black colored shaded part of this rods and all. They are said to be the grid of lead packed with lead dioxide. This is acting as cathode. So what is anode? Lead. What is cathode? PbO2. In between them, there is some liquid is here present that we will call it as electrolyte, that is 38% dilute H2SO4 is said to be serving as an electrolyte in the battery that is called as lead storage battery. So this lead storage battery can be represented as Pb packed with H2SO4 and PbSO4. So Pb always comes in contact with H2SO4, forms PbSO4. At the same time, PbO2 also in the other direction forms PbSO4 with H2SO4 in the other direction of the reaction. So this is one of the simplest representation of the diagram of the lead storage battery for understanding. And in this, what kind of reaction are going to take place, that we will see. That means, as you all know, at anode we have an oxidation reaction in generally will takes place, and that oxidation reaction is nothing but solid lead is going to come in contact with sulfate ions of coming from H2SO4 and forms PbSO4 with the liberation of removal of electrons. This is what we call it as the anode reaction. What about cathode reaction? At cathode, what kind of reaction is going to take place? Electrode reaction asked means, as you all know, cathode reaction is reduction reaction, and this reaction is possible when PbO2 comes in contact with the sulfate ions as well as acid. So sulfate ion is SO4 2 minus, acid ions are H plus ions. These ions are taking the electrons released by anode and forms PbSO4 in the discharging process. So PbSO4 plus some water also is going to be formed in this reaction. So what is cathode reaction? What is anode reaction? You observed. So at cathode we have the formation of PbSO4 we have observed. So when you want to know what is the entire overall reaction of this lead storage battery, you want to know means you have to combine these two equations to get the overall reaction. That also now we will going to see. So in combination of these two equations, we all know that these electrons are going to be cancelled, and then we will finally get the cell reaction during the discharging process is Pb in solid state plus PbSO4, PbO2 is also in solid state, plus 2 moles of sulfate ions, 2SO4 2 minus, plus 4H plus ions of the cancel of electrons in a process called as a discharging process. In a discharging process will give, there are 2 moles of PbSO4, 2 moles of PbSO4 plus 2 moles of water. So this is what we are going to observe for this discharging process reaction of lead storage battery. So most of the time in the examination they are going to ask this discharging process equation. By that time Pb plus PbO2 plus 2SO4 minus plus 4H plus gives rise to PbSO4 plus 2H2O, you have to write. During discharge, what is going to happen is nothing but sulfuric acid is there, that sulfuric acid is going to be consumed. On passing external current, definitely the cell reaction can be reversed and the sulfuric acid again will be formed. So let us see what is the recharging or reversible process, recharging reaction. So what is the recharging reaction after giving the external current? That is nothing but 2 PbSO4 plus 2H2O gives rise to Pb in solid state plus PbO2 also in solid state, plus there are 2 moles of sulfate ions and also 4 moles of H plus ions are going to be formed. This is what we can see as one of the important recharging process of this lead storage battery. So they are definitely going to ask in the exam what is discharging reaction, what is the recharging reaction of lead storage battery. So now you have a complete idea about lead storage battery, and in this lead storage battery what is the diagram you are going to write, and what are the representations of lead storage battery how to write, and finally how to write the combined equation, what we call it as a discharging reaction as well as recharging reaction. So this is what is going to be discussed in the exam. Hopefully, dear students, this is the best question, important question frequently asked in the examination board and competitive examinations from chemical kinetics. Is an alternative question for the other questions what we discussed in the last session. Hope you all understand this explanation of lead storage battery. Okay, thank you very much.